Have you ever found yourself in these situations? At work, a colleague keeps interrupting you during meetings. Even mocking your proposal in front of everyone is unoriginal. You want to defend yourself, but worry about hurting the atmosphere. If you hold back, you just feel suffocated. In daily life, relatives constantly joke about your salary or relationship status, openly or subtly belittling you. If you explain, they say you can't take a joke. If you stay silent, they take it as agreement. On social media, someone deliberately picks on your words in the comments, and if you snap back, they call you overly sensitive. If you ignore it, you feel you've swallowed your pride. When dealing with these disrespectful troublemakers, pleasing them only makes them push further, while fighting back drags you into conflict and leaves you upset. In fact, there's no need to get stuck in this dilemma. Psychology's Gray Rock Method can help you break free from their entanglement. What is the Gray Rock Method? The Gray Rock Method was proposed by psychotherapist Susan Forward. It was originally developed as a strategy for dealing with emotional manipulators, and later extended to handling all kinds of disrespectful interpersonal troubles. The core idea is to make yourself like a plain gray rock, offering no emotional reactions and sharing no unnecessary information, so the other person feels you have no emotional value to extract, and thus gives up the pursuit. People who disrespect others are essentially seeking emotional energy. Your anger, resentment, defense, or even attempts to please them all serve as useful feedback to them. It's like a child throwing a tantrum. If a parent reacts, even with criticism, it can make the child cry even harder. Ignoring them completely will eventually make the behavior stop. For example, if a colleague mocks your proposal, you might have previously defended yourself with, "I worked hard on this," or angrily replied, "You do it then," which would only encourage them to escalate next time. Using the Gray Rock Method, you simply respond calmly with, "Noted," and continue with your work. Without emotional feedback, it's like punching cotton. The other person gains nothing, and will stop bothering you. The Gray Rock Method is not about swallowing your feelings. It's about withholding feedback to cut off the other person's emotional supply and resolve the problem at its root. Why do they disrespect you? Actually, it's not your fault. When encountering people who disrespect them, many people tend to doubt themselves, asking, "Am I not good enough?" But psychological research shows that most of the time, others' disrespect toward you has nothing to do with you. The problem lies with them. Harvard University's research on interpersonal relationships found that respect is the foundation of human interaction. Persistently disrespecting others essentially sends the signal, "Your feelings don't matter to me." Behind this behavior are four main psychological motives, summarized by psychologists through numerous cases. 1. Deep insecurity. These individuals have low self-esteem and seek to elevate themselves by belittling others to gain a sense of value. For example, a veteran employee who lacks capability may mock a newcomer's proposal to appear more knowledgeable. A relative who says your job is unstable may actually be unhappy with their own life, using belittlement to find self-worth. Disrespect here is a mask for inner weakness. 2. Strong desire for power. Such people enjoy establishing psychological dominance by controlling or belittling others, asserting a sense of superiority. For instance, some leaders criticize you no matter how well you perform, not because you're inadequate, but because they want to prove, "I am the authority." Someone who treats service staff condescendingly is doing so to assert their power. 3. Lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand others' feelings. People who lack empathy don't realize their words hurt others. Psychologist John Gottman found that these people often display contempt, such as rolling their eyes or sneering while you speak, thinking of themselves as frank rather than disrespectful. 4. Selective respect. They don't behave this way toward everyone. They treat superiors or useful people politely, but reveal their true nature to those they consider unimportant. Clearly, their disrespect is a matter of judging people differently, and has nothing to do with whether you are capable or weak. It is entirely their problem. How should we deal with toxic people and toxic situations? Since disrespect is not our problem, there's no need to either please them or confront them head-on. Combined with the Gray Rock Method, these four strategies can help you respond effectively. 1. Don't confront head-on. Avoid falling into emotional traps. Confrontation is the easiest trap to fall into, because what they want most is your anger. Neuroscience shows that when anger strikes, the brain's emotional center can temporarily take over, a phenomenon called amygdala hijack. This usually lasts under 20 seconds, during which our responses are driven by impulse rather than logic. In these moments, about 70% of what we say or do is emotional, solving nothing and often leaving us passive. For example, if someone says in public, "You got this deal only because of your boss," and you defensively respond, "I earned it myself," they might reply, "Just joking. Why so serious?" leaving you branded as touchy. Using the gray rock method, you calmly say, "Oh, okay," and continue. They receive no emotional reaction, so there's no follow-up. Confronting is letting the other person control you emotionally. Not confronting is taking the initiative and protecting yourself. Confronting toxic people means even if you win, you've lost. You lose your peace of mind and waste energy. 2. Don't attract attention. Disrespectful people are like mosquitoes. They go wherever there is emotional feedback. So become an emotional black hole, absorb provocations without reflecting emotion. How? Stay calm. No matter how unpleasant their words. Keep your emotions in check. Don't get angry. Don't argue. Withhold personal information. If asked about your salary or relationship, respond vaguely with, "It's okay," or "about the same," leaving no opening for attacks. Avoid engaging. If mocked for your clothes, don't defend yourself. Either don't respond or change the topic. "Let's not talk about this. Did you need something?" Susan Forward's counseling found that many people are stuck in conflict because they can't resist explaining or arguing, providing the other person with reasons to continue. By withholding emotional and informational feedback, you make them feel it's not worth talking to you, and they move on. 3. Reduce contact and set boundaries. If avoiding attention doesn't work, reduce contact and set boundaries. Psychology teaches that healthy relationships require clear boundaries. When someone repeatedly crosses them, reducing contact is often the most direct and effective form of self-protection. At work, if a colleague constantly bothers you, avoid being alone with them. Sit further away in meetings, and limit direct interactions. In life, if relatives belittle you, speak less at gatherings or attend fewer of them. On social media, if someone provokes you, simply mute or unfollow them, out of sight, out of mind. Reducing contact is not avoiding, it's filtering. Filtering out people who drain you and saving time and energy for those who matter. You don't need to stay in uncomfortable relationships to please toxic people. 4. Cognitive restructuring. Letting go of obsession at the root. The first 3 steps are behavioral responses. The fourth, cognitive restructuring, works at the psychological level to address the root cause by changing how you perceive the situation and letting go of the obsession with, "Why don't they respect me?" Cognitive restructuring is a common emotional regulation method that replaces automatic negative thoughts with rational thoughts. In 3 steps, identify the negative thought. For example, when someone disrespects you, you think, "They think I'm worthless." Question the thought. Ask yourself, "Really? Do they treat others the same way? Isn't this their problem?" Replace it with a rational thought. For example, "They disrespect me because they need to belittle others to feel confident. It has nothing to do with me." For instance, if someone says, "You're so stupid. You can't even do this right," your automatic thought might be, "I'm stupid." The rational thought would be, "They want to prove they're smart. I was praised for this work by my boss last time." Replacing negative thoughts with rational ones stops self-denial and allows you to calmly use the gray rock method in response. When dealing with people who disrespect you, there's no need to doubt yourself, and certainly no need to force yourself to please them or fight back. Their disrespect is not your fault. It reflects their own insecurity, hunger for power, or lack of empathy. The gray rock method is a powerful tool here. Not confronting head-on means you don't waste your emotions. Not attracting attention means you deny them energy. Reducing contact means you set clear protective boundaries. Cognitive restructuring means letting go of the obsession. Remember these 3 truths. Getting entangled with toxic people is the worst investment. It costs your peace of mind and drains your energy, with no return. How others treat you is their choice. How you respond is your wisdom. True strength is not about defeating others, but about staying unshaken by toxic people and situations. By understanding the gray rock method, You can calmly walk away from disrespect. No pointless battles. No self-drain. Save your time and emotions for people who matter and things you love. After all, your life is precious. Don't waste it on toxic people.